Now, spare a thought for Roy Marsh, would you? Roy Marsh is 86 years old, lives in Skegness, and he was going for a nice perambulation the other day, but the wind had picked up a bit. It was smarting somewhat. And as a result, some rotten foliage managed to dislodge itself from an overhanging branch, and it just so happened that said bit of foliage in the gust rather unfortunately found its way into his mouth. I mean, it could happen to any of us, couldn't it? He said, I was sitting there, a gale blew a big reed into my mouth. But the drama, my friends, does not stop there because, well, like you would if you got a leaf in your mouth or a fly or whatever, really, what do? You spit it out. You don't just sit there and think, oh, that's nice, I'll chew on that. Maybe that'll be a bit of extra carbohydrate or fibre in my diet. Or, oh, I better not, I better wait till I get home to remove this imposter from my mouth hole. No, you would spit it out, wouldn't you? So naturally, that is what Roy Marsh did. But it just so happened, unfortunately, for Roy Marsh, the litter enforcement teams, the Jobsworths, were walking by. And two enforcement officers came up to them. And he was told by one of the officers that he had been spotted spitting on the floor. And he said, as most 86-year-olds might do, silly boy. But no, it didn't end there. No. Instead, he was issued with a fine of £250. 250 quid! You might be pleased to know that, like all spurious fines you get from your local council, there's always an offer to pay quickly and have it reduced, and such it was, to 150 quid, which he was still forced to pay. I mean, come on, really? Let's speak now to Adrian Findley, who is a councillor in Lincolnshire for Reform UK. Adrian, welcome to the programme. I mean, this is just crazy. This is crazy. I don't want people gobbing up on the street. It's a filthy habit. I really do not like it at all. But if an old man goes, there was a leaf in my mouth, or I don't even care if it was just his dentures playing him up. Just leave him be.
Right. Well, good evening for starters, and you've said it extremely well. How it panned out. Just for clarity, I've known Roy and Annie a long time. They are lovely people. They've got a good reputation. They're ex-business people from around the town, you know, that's brought in and helped the economy. Very respectable people. Not in a million years could I ever imagine Roy Marsh flemming on the floor purposely. So it is a genuine mistake what these guys have made. I'm not defending him, but Roy would not do that. So
he's not an Asbo granddad. He's a nice, upstanding member of society.
Yes.
Well, there
exactly.
you go. And I mean, let's do the right of reply now. From the portfolio holder of operational services. And it's like when you get those sort of funny, interesting name badges on people, isn't it? Operational services. Councillor Martin Foster. He said the council closely monitors data on enforcement actions, including those relating to such things such as littering, fly tipping and dog-related offences. Our ultimate aim is to invoke a change in behaviour and stop people committing environmental crime so residents and visitors can enjoy a clean and safe environment. Environmental crime. So that's what he did, spitting out a leaf. How dare he? Now, my understanding is, Adrian, that they've also come and given you a bit of a dressing down.
Right, well, if you just bear with me, I'll get you to where we are now.
All right.
So, basically, on the 1st of November, the Roy and his daughter, Jane, was absolutely outraged because they didn't just approach him about the leaf. A few weeks later, they approached him and tried to accuse him of throwing a tissue on the floor, but it was actually scrunched up in his pocket. So this is like the second time.
But why are they after old Roy? They got a bone to pick with him or something.
Well, let me just bear with me. So what happened then was Jane, the daughter, put out a social media post. The outrage was phenomenal. And somebody tagged me in it, said, Adrian Findley, can you do something? I like to think myself as an active councillor. So I contacted the leader of East Lindsey District Council, who select selected Kingdom as the enforcement officers to cover the area. Bear with me, gets better than that. I spoke to him, told him what had happened, told him about the behaviour from previous incidents that had happened have been reported to me as a councillor. Bearing in mind, I'm an elected member to speak on behalf of the people that put me in this position. His reply was, we get about 6 or 8 complaints a year. We fully investigate them along with Kingdom, the company that supplies these officers. When I read it, I was outraged the fact that he'd said that he didn't say, oh, we will look into it. He said they won't do it. So I put out, he did urge me not to do a social media post.
Oh, of course.
So that got me back up. Why would you want to urge? Now, you've just made a statement saying about you've got a statement from them, but let's be fair. If you came to me and said, you've took on a bad company here, I would defend that company because I've took them on. If I was that company with bad staff, I would defend them staff because that would make me look bad, having bad staff. So I get their defence, and I completely understand their defence because they're lucky covering their own backs. But from the social media I put out, I got 65 comments, every single one negative, with 22 different stories. To back that up, as a councillor, I often get phone calls, text messages, emails regarding different scenarios of the bully boy tactics. And unfortunately, I have to say, it's bully boy tactics of picking on vulnerable people, mainly elderly, to give them a fine, who are then confronted by these officers and put in a position, Alex, where they're intimidated by them because they can come across as aggressive, they can come across as abrupt, and they do threaten people with the police. And it is outrageous, the reports that I've had, but mainly from the elderly.
But you know, because look, I think we can all agree that we would want to see yobbos who are doing horrible things, littering, spitting, whatever they may be doing.
They deserve
dog
to be
fouling. We'd love to see them tackled. But what I want to know, because you said that they've committed to fully investigating everything, how do you fully investigate this? What do you have, like a Crime Watch dramatic reconstruction calling for witnesses? Did he or did he not have a leaf in his mouth? Forensics to look for, like, evidence of the projectile, you know, the forbidden fauna that happened to, like, come out of his face.
How they get to that, Alex, is simple. If you can remember the exact time and the exact date of the incident, they will check the body cam footage. But let me remind you that you've got 2 guys that are pushing you, whether you've done something wrong or not, to pay a hefty fine, and they expect you to remember the time and the date. If you haven't got a lot of money, or you've been shaken up by the threats and the behaviour, apparently, of what these people are doing to people, the last thing on your mind is going to be, oh, it was at 2:22 on an afternoon. You're going to be mortified.
Why would anyone remember? Why would they remember? Body cam footage for people who might have accidentally swallowed a fly.
Yeah, but it's not just that. There is so many incidents and so many stories of these guys. They hide behind shop corners, and cars and doorways.
Wait, what are these people? What are they doing? Hold on a minute.
No. I've had numerous people say it's entrapment. That's what I've been told.
So they're literally creeping around with their body cams, like skulking about, ducking down behind cars, like binos, looking for someone who might be about to cough.
I know businesses in this town who point blank refuse to let them in because they chase people off the street into shops, arcades, restaurants. You name it, these guys chase them in there. And it's come to the point now that they are putting a bad reputation on the town. So people are now saying, you're not coming in here. I mean, one day the other day, and I am not making this up.
Do you know what? I would love to have one of these sort of what is it called here? Detectorists of environmental crime. I'd love to ask them what they get up to, because I'm all for people stopping fly tipping. I'm all for people stopping people allowing dogs to do whatever they want anywhere. That is one of the biggest things that annoys me.
Yeah, me too.
But this idea that you're like chasing Nana and Grandpa with your, I don't know, heat-seeking cameras, your night vision goggles, your body cam footage, Lord knows what else. It's just, it's a madness.
To be fair, what they're saying that they monitor their staff and they've got video footage to show that that's the convenience side of it. The reality is now it's gone national with newspapers, radio and TV. Are these people saying, these people that hire these companies, that have these employees that are going around doing the ticket, are they saying that hundreds, if not thousands, maybe tens of thousands of people with various stories of unlawful issuing of tickets are wrong?
We have not got a representative of said contractor to come and answer that question, so I'm not going to attempt to do it on their behalf. But anyway, Adrian, thank you ever so much. Adrian Findley, Lincolnshire County Councillor for Reform UK. Well, if you go down Skeggy, make sure you keep your mouth firmly shut. OK.